Welcome to Business Chats with Debbie, where we talk to small businesses about their stories. I'm your host, Debbie Warburton, and today I've got the lovely Phil Lawrence from Argos Fire Protection. Way! So we've seen each other passing quite a lot in the YP events, but you've got some exciting news because you've actually opened a branch in Cornwall now.
We have, finally. Argos Fire started out in Cornwall back in 1969 and down in St Ives about 30 years ago, moved up to Exeter just to sort of expand in both directions, really.
Yeah.
But the new MD, the MD that took over a couple of years ago, is a proud Cornishman and has always wanted the opportunity to bring Argos Fire back to Cornwall again. So the opportunity came up last year for us to take over a retiring company, and finally everything went through a few weeks ago. So we are now, hot in Cornwall.
That's really good, because you're based in Cornwall yourself, aren't you?
I am.
I suppose is that saving a bit of travelling or.
It means that I can do some appointments a little more closer to home, certainly recently, but I still cover the whole patch. So, I don't mind either way, but it's exciting to have a branch in Cornwall. You can talk to people in Cornwall about your branch in Cornwall and the fact that, we're as Cornish based now as we are Devon.
Yeah, because I was speaking to someone earlier. It's because I've worked, I worked up north before I came down here, and Cornwall is unique in its own right in that people will only talk to people from Cornwall. They'll buy from people from Cornwall before anywhere else. And do you know what I mean? If you haven't got that permanent base in Cornwall, then it can cause quite a few issues, really.
Yeah, they do. They like to deal locally, as I do. At the end of the day, if I'm, and probably you're the same, if you want to get some work done, you'd rather use someone local to do that work for you than sort of go outside of the area, because, there are many other reasons not to want to go out the area, ecological reasons and everything else. So, in this day and age, people like to deal
and people
locally.
down here know everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or
certainly
they know
if
somebody,
you're in YP,
or they know somebody who knows that person.
Exactly right.
It's a really good connection. So tell me a bit about Argos Fire and what you actually do, because I know you've talked a bit about your suppression systems in the past, which are ideal for people who want to stay at home longer, who want that independence, but because they haven't got obviously as we get older, we do tend to fumble a bit. We tend to forget things. We leave the pan on the stove and everything else. And this system will help, especially with the social element of we haven't got carers to look after these people.
I know, this is the thing, isn't it? I do hope it starts to get fixed soon, because obviously everything suffers off the back of that. And I'd like to think we can help in some small way by keeping people in their own homes, making their own homes a little bit safer. Argos Fire, as I said, has been around since 1969. We've been Ansell commercial kitchen suppression system installers for quite a few years now, about 10 to 15 years.
Are they like in commercial kitchens?
Yeah. So if you go into a restaurant with, say, an open kitchen, you'll quite often see nozzles hanging down from the canopies, and they're there to spray a fire out should the system detect a fire. Something that came up sort of during lockdown really was something I'd really like to get into helping people. So if there's anyone out there that knows people that could benefit from this and where we need to go to talk to somebody about getting it into their homes, that would be really useful. But it's a really simple little system that goes around a residential extractor unit. Yeah. So it's literally a bit of tubing and a nozzle. The tubing will burst if it detects that there's a fire underneath. Not normal cooking, people can flambe if they want and it won't burst, but it will detect a fire and it will put the fire out before anybody even knows. So if somebody's forgotten, walked off or whatever, and something bursts into flames, it will be out by the time they come back. It can be connected to intruder alarms or, different systems to alert other people as well that it's actually happened. So I would really like to get that moving, if you like, in Cornwall, because it's not gone as much as I'd have hoped. I would like to have helped more people than I have so far. So it'd be very interesting to find people that can help me sort of get into those areas and help these people. Changing lives, saving lives is my little slogan.
That's the biggest thing as you get older is remaining as independent as you possibly can until there's a point where physically and mentally you can't.
Yeah.
And that is a big barrier in, obviously, with care homes and everything else. They're full.
Yes.
There's no room. So keeping these people at home is I think it's a better alternative to actually putting somebody in a care home who could remain at home if they were safe to remain at home.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, you know yourself, if we were at this stage of our lives, I would like to be around my familiar surroundings. I'd much rather stay there forever, rather than have to go into a care home. And I know sometimes it is the best option, but it would be great if we can help those people that would rather stay in their own homes to stay there. And like you say, take a little bit of pressure off the care homes themselves.
Yeah. So what other things do you do?
Well, pretty much anything you can think of, fire protection, really. We look after fire extinguishers or door stops, as they're quite often used as. And also, fire alarms. We do servicing, installing of fire alarms. As I said, the kitchen suppression systems. We do fire risk assessments, fire training. We're also able to design and install now dry risers and sprinkler systems. So pretty much anything you can think of, really, fire protection wise, especially in the commercial world, which is where we do most of our work. If there's anything you can think of fire protection wise, pick up the phone and speak to us, and there's a good chance we'll be able to help you with it.
Yeah. So that's good. So basically you need connections with people who, the social care element, really, isn't it? It's
yeah, definitely. I'd like to be able to do that. I'd like to have something to do with changing somebody's life, even if it's one person. I think I've done that and they're in their home now for that little bit longer and I've played my part. You get to a certain age where you start to want to see yourself giving something back because you've been working hard all your life trying to, take what you can to pay your bills, keep a roof over your head. And it would be nice to have the other element of working and,
and make a change in somebody else's life.
Yeah, I think that's lovely, and there's nothing better, really, is there, in life?
No, there isn't. Well, thank you so much for coming in. I know you've talked about this at the YP event, but do you know what I mean? It's getting to know a little bit more because you sometimes you're like ships in the night in the YP event. You just hello, and then you've gone on. You've got to go for some other reason. So thank you so much for coming in today. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for inviting me. And I'll see you at the next YP event, no doubt.
Will do.
Yeah. Thank you guys for joining in today, and I will see you on the next podcast. Bye-bye.